So I think we should be good. I think. Let me just double check that right now. Are we good? I don't know. Is this... Let's see. Maybe not. Okay, so I think we are good to go. Yeah, okay, it's all good. Alright, so there's gonna be quite a lot being discussed today, right? I think we're good. I think this is live. Should be. Well, okay, assuming that it is, I hope it is. So basically today I'm going to be talking about, I should actually update the text. So Yuta versus Kenjaku is the first one. I know it says Geto as well in the title. Oh, I should turn that down, that's my chat. Alright, text, let's update this to say, how do I update this? I should know these things. Alright, let's have that say Yuta versus Kenjaku. Cool. Alright. So, I mean, this is a pretty interesting one because, I mean, there are a lot of Yuta fanboys. As I've learned the hard way, there are quite a lot of them. But Kenjaku doesn't seem to be underestimated. That's the key thing. Kenjaku does appear, you know, by the fans to be liked quite a lot. So, by liked, I mean strength-wise. I don't mean his actual character. Maybe people like him. I don't know. But I think most people don't like him, which is understandable. Geto's cool. Geto's actually top 3 for me. But I don't like Kenjaku that much, which is fair. I mean, maybe that's what you want in a villain, right? Someone that you don't like. Anyway, so if I bring up the chapter which I'm looking for, it should be around 133, if I had to guess. So it's the chapter where Kenjaku kind of like messes with Yuji. Okay, so it's a bit further ahead than this, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay, this is actually, I swear to God I didn't rig this. This is the chapter, okay. So basically the idea is Yuta is very, very powerful. So I actually overestimate him. You know, I think he's really strong, but I don't do that to the point of delusion. Listen, I'm a big Yuta fan, but there are some crazy Yuta fans out there who like way overestimate him, who think like he's just unstoppable or something, which he's not. Let's be real. Yuta's strong, okay? So like I said, I don't underestimate him though. I don't downplay him. I'm actually one of the people that think Yuta can take on 15-fingered Sukuna, which I think there's actually a fair amount of evidence for that. There's a fair amount of evidence for that, because you have to remember that when Yuji transforms into Sukuna, he does retain the memories of what just happened. So he, as we saw after he transformed, Yuji is the one transforming, not Yuta. Yuji had seen when Sukuna activated Malevolent Shrine and just destroyed all those people, and Yuji is fully aware of Sukuna's fight with Mahoraga, I think that's how you say his name. So obviously Yuji knows that Sukuna's no punk, even in 15 fingers, he knows that. But he still thinks, after having fought Yuta and Rika, that Yuta would be able to stop him. No, not even stop him. He thinks that Yuta would be able to kill him if he transforms, which is crazy. I mean, I did see a comment where it said like, maybe Yuji is not the best reference. I think Yuji is the best reference. I mean, he literally experienced it in his own body, and he also fought Yuta. So, yeah, Yuji's not a bad reference, you know, to take from this. So the point being, I think Yuta's pretty powerful. You know, Rika, mimicry, insanely high cursed, like just cursed energy in general, not bad amount of output. So that's just me. Now, getting into Kenjaku, so actually funny enough, right? So if I go to, this was a mistake by me, so if it would load, that's the thing. Damn, my internet is it's looking pretty tragic. What's going on? How is this stream even running? I don't even know. Okay, here we go. So I have Kenjaku right now all the way up here because I learned otherwise. You know, people in the comments kind of kicked my ass in my ranking of every Jujutsu Kaisen video. Because I originally had Kenjaku and Geto, to be fair. I had them like here. Actually, I'll leave Geto there. I had them both like low-end special grade. Now, granted, Geto's was kind of fair. I was downplaying him a lot though. But Kenjaku's was really, really wrong. Because I guess I never actually thought about this, but Geto or Kenjaku, because they have the same ability, could counter a domain expansion by summoning a cursed spirit that has domain expansion. Which is a fair point, because originally I thought because he didn't have a domain expansion, it was a big, how do I say this, like detriment to him. But he makes up for it for having cursed spirits that have domain expansion, which could be used in tug of wars for him. So it's a really good point. And this is beside the fact that Kenjaku has, 1,000 years of knowledge and experience in Jujutsu sorcery. And he also has access to, 10 million cursed spirits. So, okay, I don't know if I should include that in the fight. If we're saying Kenjaku has, all 10 million, I think the number was 10 million. It was a million or something. If Kenjaku has all of those cursed spirits, he would, as unfortunate as it is, he would kill Yuta. Okay, I know Yuta is so powerful, so strong, but come on, is he taking on 10 million cursed? It's not that if he could, he has the strength for it, but he does not have the stamina for it. Do you really think his cursed energy is gonna last that long to kill 10 million? I mean, let me think about this. Does he have some sort of big attack that he could do? We did see when he was fighting Ishigori, he kind of had this beam attack to counter Ishigori's own Garante blast. So he does have wide area of effect attacks. But okay, guys, Kenjaku has 10 million of these things. 10 million. What's the population in New York City, London? Seriously. Well, okay, maybe it's actually, I don't know the exact number. Hold on a second. So, let me search. Not lunge. What does this mean? So I live in London, right? So I'm not here right now. I'm on kind of a holiday. So London population. Yo, Prodigy, what's up, man? Look, think about this really quick. Kenjaku has as many cursed spirits as the city of London, where I live, and this is a big ass city, man. What's up, Prodigy? How you doing? You doing good? I think this stream is actually a bit behind because my internet's trash today, so I might be reading it a bit late, what you say. Well, I'm reading it on time, but due to latency, you'll see it 30 seconds later or something, while I actually in my reply. Okay, but back to the argument at hand. Yuta versus Kenjaku, right? Including 10 million cursed spirits, I don't even think the biggest Yuta wankers, or the Yuta fanboys, would say Yuta would win. Not because he's not strong enough, he just doesn't have enough stamina. I think obviously Gojo and Sukuna could do it. Gojo has infinite stamina and infinite cursed energy, so he could actually do it, right? And Sukuna has so much destructive capability and he could do that. But if we say Yuta, well, obviously Yuta's strong. If we say Kenjaku doesn't have, I should actually move from this, right? So on the tier list here, if we assume that Kenjaku doesn't have the 10 million, right? I'm gonna be honest, this is really hard to scale. Because it comes down to what cursed spirits did Kenjaku get over the past 10 years, since he's taken over Geto's body. Because we know Geto exhausted all his cursed spirits when he died, right? But, what ones does Kenjaku have? he would probably get overwhelmed. Exactly so. That's what I think. Like 10 million is too much for anyone beside Gojo and Sukuna. Seriously, it's just too much. But oh damn, I think my internet is lagging pretty hard. That's unfortunate. Okay, but you know what? I'm just gonna have to muscle through it, right? Let me check which internet I'm using. I think I see why. Okay. You know what? I mean, is it fine? Actually, could you let me know if this stream is laggy or something? If it is, I'll switch internets. Okay, but regardless, to the point that I was trying to make, right? Kenjaku has different cursed spirits compared to Geto. Obviously, he had to get new ones, right? And we only see a handful that he uses. So he uses the smallpox deity against Mei, which is very powerful, very powerful. Which, granted, I mean, Mei did beat it, but with the help of Ui, and Mei is super strong. Yuta with OG Rika could probably beat Kenjaku, but current Yuta loses, in my opinion, not easily though. So, I guess, first of all, I love the Guts profile picture. Like, that's awesome. But to that point, I would say, actually, yeah. Because he doesn't have the issue of Rika only lasting 5 minutes, right? That's kind of crazy. He had like Rika out for... He could have Rika out for an infinite amount of time. I really understand why Gege had to give him that time nerf, like of 5 minutes. I really get that. Yeah, I'm doing good. What about you? I'm big on Yuta, but I think he loses. Yeah. Same, man. Like, I'm a big Yuta fan, but 10 million, it's just his stamina won't last that long. It's just crazy. But if we're just talking about, say, Kenjaku without the 10 million, so let's say just with his strongest curses, I would assume he would keep his strongest curses, right? I would assume that. But, I mean, okay, this is kind of crazy. He has Mahito, right? Like, Mahito, who, like, I originally had Mahito here, and then I kind of got flamed in the comments of my ranking video, rightfully so, for this point. And I moved him here. I understood how strong he was, you know? I had it explained. So, Mahito is strong as fuck already. Like, I think Mahito is already being, which is kind of controversial, is being like Toji or Maki 101. Right? Okay, well, to be fair, I know people might be upset with that, but the point is, could Toji or Maki tank Mahito's domain expansion's one hit? Like, guaranteed hit, one shot, one kill. Just for the fact that they don't have a simple domain, you know, it's kind of unfortunate. They would kind of just die. You could make the argument that they could blitz Mahito as he activates his domain. So Prodigy says, can you make it a bit bigger? Yes, that I can. So, let me make it like that big. Oh, damn. Okay, how's this? So unfortunately, yeah, I'm seeing like the chat a bit late because my internet, it delayed the stream so badly. Oh god. Okay, but regardless, so as you're seeing this in the future, it's been updated. The point is, right, I just don't think Maki or Toji could tank Mahito's one hit. But do you want to make the argument that they could blitz Mahito as the domain activates? Because they are fast as fuck. Like, they are seriously fast, these two. That's a fair argument. I don't even know why I'm getting into Mahito versus Toji or Maki. Like, where did that even come from? The point is, he has Mahito under his control, and that's beside the fact that he has a plethora of special grade curse spirits, which he also has. So, without the 10 million, let's just say he has his, like, strongest curse spirits. I would honestly say Yuta wins that. Not easily, because Kenjaku, assumedly, has a lot of strong spirits and his maximum technique, and Mahito. But I still think Yuta wins that fight. But 10 million spirits, okay. Like, this is not including 10 million spirits, by the way. If it was 10 million, he would be, like, over here. The stream crashed for a minute, bro. Oh, damn. Okay. The stream crashed. Damn. I mean, hopefully that... You know, I'm actually just going to switch my internet real quick. So, sorry if it's gonna like lag out or cut for a minute. If I could find the better internet, there we go. All right, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna switch. Okay, it's back. Okay, and I also switched to let me close that. I switched my internet to like the good one because like there's 2 types basically. This is my fault. I should have had the good one open for when I started the show. I should have checked that. Okay, but now I have kind of like the better version, so hopefully it doesn't crash. Sorry about that. But okay, actually Prodigy. So actually, first of all, that's the conclusion I came to. So for Yuta versus Kenjaku, right? But Prodigy, actually, by the end of the stream, actually, when I talk about the 3 matchups, I want to check out your video too. Because I saw your message literally as I started the stream. You told me you uploaded the video, but I don't know what the video is. Okay, so the next matchup, Toji versus Kashimo. Oh, this is going to be controversial. This is literally going to annoy so many people, no matter who I say. Like, no one will be happy. Because the 2 sides of this argument or camp are just so aggressive. Kashimo. Actually, alright, it's showing some bias if I put Kashimo versus Toji. Cool. Or Maki. Because Maki's strong too. I mean, as strong as Toji. Alright, so let's see. How is this fight gonna go? I need to think about how to say this without upsetting like the thing is, no matter what I say, like there are going to be people upset. I mean, thankfully this isn't a full video. This is actually just, a live stream. So I think Kashimo wins this fight. I'm gonna be honest. I know Toji has a lot of fans. Let me actually bring up Kashimo's fight. Actually, before that, I'll actually bring up Toji's scaling. So I think it was chapter 71. I hope I'm spot on of that. Oof, look at that. Geto. Absolutely clean. One of my favorite characters. Not Kenjaku, Geto. So, this is pretty cool. It's pretty... Okay, look at this, man. Look at this. It's pretty zoomed in, too. Why is that? Let me zoom out a bit. There we go. That's still pretty zoomed in. So... Toji versus Kashimo. The reason I think Kashimo wins, actually before I get into that, let me explain that Toji is not weak by any means. In my tier list, originally I had him high end, but I brought it back to reality. I brought him here. Toji obviously has his heavenly restriction. He's incredibly physically strong. He is fast as hell, and his 6 senses, 5 senses plus his unknown 6th one, are just heightened to inhuman levels, right? And this is all about cursed energy, so obviously everyone knows this. Now, the issue I have with Toji winning this fight is just the fact that Kashimo is so unbelievably strong and fast. I get Toji is physically gifted, but that doesn't mean he's automatically stronger than everyone hand to hand. Kashimo, in my opinion, is just as durable, if not more durable than Toji and Maki. The amount of hits that Kashimo, so let me, in another tab, so CTB, right? So the amount of hits that Kashimo has taken from Hakari, and Hakari gets downplayed unfortunately because of this, but think about this, Kashimo has no reverse curse technique, so he can't heal, as far as we know. He hasn't used it yet. He would have used it by now if he had it, right? So look at this. This man has taken so many hits from an infinite cursed energy Hakari. Granted, Hakari doesn't have infinite output, but as we saw from the Yuta fight, simply by having a lot of cursed energy, that affects your output in a way. Because it makes you more durable, like a tank, and it also just, in a way, for some reason, having more like cursed energy allows you to use your maximum output, right? If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. And Kashimo has taken the biggest beating from Hakari. Granted, he's given Hakari an even bigger beating. But he has taken so much damage. Look at it, clean. He's absolutely clean. And he is fine. No healing, no reverse curse technique. Not just from his own just raw defense of his cursed energy. Look at this. This is like some JoJo's shit. Like Aurora, Muda Muda. Right? Actually, this is pretty much shit. It must be a JoJo's reference. Everything is. But look, he has taken so much from a guy with infinite stamina who's an immortal. And that's not even his own blood on his face. I think all he has so far with this massive fight, I think it's one of the longest fights in the series, like one-on-one fights. All he has so far is like some of his skin is torn off on his face. Like, kinda. Or like it's burned or something. I think it's burned, actually. So, or is it dried blood? If it's dried blood, then that's even better because he has blood on his face. You're back? Hey, Brogy, what's up? I did change the internet, so I hope that fixes it. And I also fixed the delay that existed. Like, the point is, after fighting Hakari for not like... How long has it been? Like, it's been 12 minutes of fighting an immortal with infinite cursed energy with very high output too. And Hakari's no joke. Look at him. That's all he has to show for it. Some like cuts on his face, and that's it. No reverse cuss technique, by the way. I mean, as far as we know, I mean, he may have been using it, but Gege usually always like shows when a character uses it or it says it in some way. And look, it seems that it's blood on his face. It's not even ripped skin, if that's the case. This guy is just... I mean, I think he has reversed... I just don't know. I mean, does he have reversed cuss technique? It's never been said, but if he doesn't, he's beyond a monster. I just think he's more durable than Toji. I get it, Toji's heavily restricted. Toji is so powerful. Kashimo has really good stamina, incredible stamina. Kashimo has better stamina than Yuta. And not to say he's stronger than Yuta. I'm not saying that. Now, he would give Yuta a great fight. Actually, that's a whole other matchup entirely. Yuta versus Kashimo. For another day, right? But, Kashimo might be Yuta. Anyway, he's it's like you say, he has insane stamina. It's nuts how much stamina this guy has, how durable Kashimo is, how strong he is. I think I get it. Toji has this, Maki, both of them have the exact same heavenly restriction. They are so strong and durable and all that, but you know, Kashimo's, I just think he's stronger. And that's just my opinion, by the way. Like, there's no way to prove this. There is evidence supporting my opinion. There's evidence supporting Toji, right? There's evidence supporting him. So at the end of the day, it just leans towards, well, your opinion just leans towards which evidence you think is more solidified, right? So there's no way to prove who's stronger, who's stronger or who's more durable. Because Toji is such a weird case, because like, he low diffed Dagon, but granted, Dagon wasn't able to use his one hit, one kill, though I don't think that would have made too much of a difference. And then he also, like, he lost so badly to like this weakened version of Gojo. Like, literally, so he beat, think about this. Kashimo Toji, listen, I'm glad you agree, man. I'm glad you agree. Though if you think otherwise, it's fine, but I just think I think Kashimo is so downplayed by some fans, it's nuts. Like, it's actually nuts what I've seen. Not by everyone. There are some people who would, thank God, they agree that Kashimo is a top 5 sorcerer in history. But, like, not top 5 sorcerer, did I say top 5? I mean, one of the strongest sorcerers in history. But, you know, like, there are people downplaying it. Granted, there are people who downplay Toji badly too. You know, I think I said this last stream too. There was this crazy comment, like absolutely batshit crazy comment, that said Toji is as weaker than Naoya, or he scales on the same level as Naoya. I kid you not, like, this was a real person, and he tried to argue it for like 5-6 comments. So there are people who downplay Toji. I've seen people who say Toji is as strong as Yuta, or like stronger than these guys, which is crazy. I don't know how people think. Listen, the reality is he's not as weak as some people think. He's not as strong as some people think. He's in the middle of both extremes. So Kendall Acham... Okay, I'm very sorry. I cannot pronounce your last name. Kendall, I can say that. Sorry for butchering it if I did. Kashimo is most definitely stronger than Hakari and Toji, but I believe Yuta beats Kashimo. Fair enough, fair enough. I actually made a video, my most recent video, Yuta versus... Oh wait, no, you said Kashimo, sorry. So, I'm actually thinking about just making a whole video on Yuta versus Kashimo, because it's such an interesting matchup, right? Has anyone made a video on that, by the way? Actually, I'll check that later, because I hope no one's made it. I mean, because then it's like the more people have made a similar topic of a video, the worse it is, right? Actually, no, that's not the case. Sometimes it gets your video recommended more. Anyway, while safer now is, I haven't done research in it, so this is not like my final conclusion. I also think Yuta beats Kashimo, but like, that's the thing. Kashimo has so much stamina, right? Like, Kashimo would would drain Yuta's stamina dry, his cursed energy. And we've seen, if he lasts over 12 minutes with Hakari, and he's got Hakari on the back foot, he's easily going to last that 5 minutes of Yuta. But then it comes down to, what does Yuta's domain expansion do, right? Because, what's his name? Kashimo has simple wicker basket, simple domain, to counter domain expansions, but it all comes down to what Yuta's domain expansion does. I think this is tough. I want to say Yuta wins, but it just, like, the evidence supports Kashimo winning that fight. As crazy as that sounds, I know how crazy that sounds, but the evidence leans that way. So Prodigy says, let's see, Kashimo is relative to Hakari while he's on a roll, who's stronger than Yuta, who Yuji thinks could kill 15 Fingers Sukuna, and Megami said Toji's around the same speed. Okay, one thing. First of all, everything you said, like, as crazy as it sounds, I actually agree with all that. That's the line of logic that I go by. Which is crazy to think, right? Like, Kashimo taking on 15 Fingered Sukuna? This is nuts. This is like crazy scaling territory. Toji, Kashimo, Yuta. Okay, hold on. Izzy T. Listen, man. Listen. I respect your opinion. If that's what you think, that's all good. That's all good. But okay, how about this, Izzy T? So actually, before I answer you, Izzy, I'll answer Prodigy. Toji being around the same speed as Three-Fingered Sukuna that can't be true. I remember how he said they were relative. He didn't say that. Like, no, I think there was a panel that showed that they may have been relative, but that can't be true. It just can't be true. I know what you're talking about, how, like, Megumi did fight Toji and Three-Fingered Sukuna, and he kind of compared their speed, but I think the point was that they both had incomparable or incomprehensible speed. I think that was the point. I don't think he was saying they're the same level, just that they were both so fast that, he's just faster than him. Or maybe that Toji was so fast that it was the same as when he fought Three-Fingered Sukuna, who speed blitzed him. That's some copium on me, by the way. Like, because I refuse to accept the fact that Toji is as fast as Three-Fingered Sukuna. Maybe I'm on, like, crack with, like, copia or something crack. But I can't accept. I just can't. Like, that's too slow for Toji. Okay, so I agree with everything else you said. Like, Kashimo being relative to Hakari, who won a roll. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Okay, first of all, Toji versus Kashimo. So let me answer this first by Izzy T. By the way, I love your profile. Like, the lore profile, that is cool as hell. So let me answer this and I'll get to the other two. Law is awesome, by the way. One of the best One Piece characters. He's not one of my favorites, but, like, objectively, he's one of the best, and he's one of the coolest. Toji, like, think about this, Izzy T. Do you think Toji could beat 15-Fingered Sukuna, who beat, what was his name? Mahoraga. Yeah, Mahoraga was the cursed spirit that Megumi summoned. I just don't see that happening. Listen, I think 15-Fingered Sukuna is relative to Gojo, who just learned Red Glow and just learned Purple Hollow, and had just learned his reverse curse technique. So keep in mind, this is a Gojo without domain expansion and without instant teleportation techniques. So he's not, and obviously without a decade more experience, and he was extremely fatigued because he hadn't slept in 3 days and his technique activated, right? I would say that Gojo is relative to 15-fingered Sukuna, and that Gojo low diff Toji. That's just my opinion, right? So you say Toji is stronger than Yuta, who's relative to 15-fingered Sukuna. I disagree. If you think otherwise, like, that's cool, you know? Scaling is a bit like tricky in the series because it's hard to tell how strong Toji is, but regardless, yeah, I disagree with you, man. But if you don't agree with me, that's cool too. So Kendall says, I think Maki debunked Yuta saying, yeah. So there was a panel where, let me open this. So JJK, this is in my files, so everything is leaked. So it was here. I have nothing tied, so don't worry. Where was the panel? So is this one. This is the one you're referring to. Fair? Oh, it's just, yeah, fair, Izzy. Like, if you think otherwise, that's totally cool, man. Because Toji is, oddly enough, for someone who's fought like a good amount, he's hard to scale. So this is the picture you're referring to, I think, Kendall. So I did say in my Yuta versus Hakari video, where I say, you know, you could make the argument that Yuta's being modest because Yuta's a very nice guy. But one thing I'll say is, like, I can agree with that Yuta was just being nice. I can agree with that argument. But I don't think this is a good argument. Maki's saying that's not true. The reason I say this is because Maki at this point is too weak to compare Yuta and Hakari. Especially Hakari when he's at jackpot. Unless she's seen the two fight. I mean, maybe because Yuta seems to know that Hakari is strong, but maybe that's just because he knows how the technique works, right? But I just take this with a grain of salt because this is a very weak version of Maki. Keep in mind, this Maki is physically weaker than Yuji, and that's Yuji without cursed energy, right? So if this statement was said by like current day Maki, so Maki, who's an absolute beast, by the way, like seriously, I would take that way more seriously because she has like the speed and strength to, how do I say this? She's like strong enough to see how strong these two are, if that makes any sense. Plus, it does seem that Maki doesn't like, I mean, it doesn't seem like she doesn't like him, but, you know, I don't think she has the best opinion of Hakari. Anyway, so Megumi said that he's around the same speed. It's hard to believe. No, stop. Hell no, Toji can't beat Mahoraga. I always struggle with that. I agree with that. I mean, I think he would put up like not a bad fight. I just don't see how he would be able to kill him. Actually, the inverted sword of, what is it called? Like the inverted sword of heaven. Let me go chapter 71. It's the exact chapter. So the weapon where it nullifies curse techniques, would that kill Mahoraga? Like, really? Because it would nullify his, I mean, is that curse technique? His 8 paths. Like, if we're saying Toji had this weapon, inverted spear of heaven, would that kill Mahoraga and not let him revive? Because that would cancel his cuss technique. Wait a minute. I never thought about that. Okay. If he has this weapon, inverted spear of heaven, and it works on Mahoraga, which, granted, I have not done my research, so I'm just saying this like off the top of my head. I think it should, like, forced stoppage of a curse technique. I think that should kill Mahoraga. Wait a minute. So if he just like, stop. This is kind of crazy. I thought Toji would lose to Mahoraga, but if he has this weapon, he might win, wouldn't he? Huh. I mean, maybe Mahoraga is just so fast and strong that he wouldn't be able to hit him. That's a fair argument too. But all right, back to the Megumi point. What chapter would that have been? So where he fights Toji. So it'd be right after the Dagon fight. So let me try to find that. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm spot on with finding which chapter's which. Because listen, man, I guess I should see the official. If I pull the official like Viz, which I'm subscribed to, I think if I pull that on stream, I might just get like sued or banned or something. Like, maybe even like risking it all with the unofficial. But hey, the unofficial is fine. TCB is great. Okay, so Dagon low diffing everyone. I'm not Dagon, sorry. Jogo. So let's get to this Megumi versus Toji. Listen, Prodigy, you kind of blowing my mind. I don't think he has the speed to do it. It's fair. Listen, if what you said is true, and he's only fast as three-fingered Sukuna, which I can't accept that. If that's the case, then you're right. He's not fast enough. But, I mean, he was kind of like speed blitzing. No, but then Gojo got stronger, right? I don't know. This is tricky. Let me see exactly. Let's see. So I remember Megumi tried to stab him, and then he says like his speed is tremendous. Look at that. That is kind of crazy. So from his like point of view or his perspective, he thinks the sword has gone in, and then he just dodged it. That's just crazy. That is crazy, man. No wait, he should say it right after. I think I actually just missed it. Damn it! How the hell did you dodge that? Wait, at what point does he say it? Does he say it during the Dagon fight? Sorry if I'm a bit quiet. I'm trying to see exactly when he says that. The monster got a special good curse spirit, my Shikigami. I need to limit injuries. His speed rivals Sukuna's. Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Kendall said something. Okay. So Kendall says, I think Yuta beats Kashimo for the fact that Kashimo and Ishigori at that time were both the strongest in their era and couldn't fight each other, with Ishigori having the greatest cursed energy output. I actually think that they belong to different generations. They're kind of they lived in the same era, but Kashimo and Ishigori belong to different generations. Because if you remember, as Ishigori was like kind of becoming famous and becoming world renowned at the time, like it was just like a new thing, like, oh, this guy has the highest output in history. Kashimo was already old as hell and was literally dying. Like he was at the end of his life as Ishigori was like becoming the strongest in the world. So yes, they were alive in the same era, but they aren't a part of the same generation, if that makes sense. So when Ishigori was at his prime, and by the time Ishigori was strong, this is just what I think. I mean, this is what it seems to be. Kashimo was long dead, so that's why they never fought. Yuta fought Ishigori without trying to kill him, just trying to take his points. And also Yuta curse energy is damn near bottomless, but it is near bottomless, but it is bottomless. So I know what you're saying, Kendall. Like Yuta is like really, 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 really strong. I myself think he's very strong. But they were too far apart, right? Wait a second. So before I get into that, let me talk about this Yuta point. Yuta is stronger. Let me say this. As I agree with you, Yuta is not only stronger, he's a tier above. I wouldn't say there's a big difference actually between like these guys. There's not a big difference. Sorry. Yuta's stronger than Ishigori individually. He's stronger than Udo individually. That's factual. So Naruto edit said they just released solo leveling promotional. Really? Okay. Wait a second. Let me finish this point. But that is really good to know. I'm a big fan of solo leveling. Not a fan of the ending though. I'll get into that way later. But thanks for the info. Okay. But the point is, Yuta's strong. Individually, he's stronger than these two. I factually like there's so more. Oh, like I can't speak because I'm tired as fuck. Sorry. But because I was actually writing an article. Because yeah, your boy's gonna have his first article published. So I was working on that before the stream started. Anyway, that aside, Yuta is not being Ishigori and Udo in a 2v1. There is no world where that happens. Just no world. Like seriously. If Udo and Ishigori like truly teamed up like together to fight Yuta, right now, Yuta is strong. Yuta would be buried 6 feet beneath the earth right now. Yuta would be chilling with his Yuta would be chilling with Jogo right now in the after. He'd be chilling with Nanami. They'd be having tea in the other world. It is not that Yuta is weak. I think even Jack Hakari would get his ass spanked by a team up of Ishigori and Udo. Okay, so one thing, because I always see this argument that Yuta beat these two in a 2v1. He did not beat these two in a 2v1. If it was a 2v1, they would have slaughtered Yuta, right? I think these two working together would destroy 15-fingered Sukuna as well. Like, trust me, it's crazy. But, that's not to say Yuta's weak. Yuta, the fact that he came out on top of that free fall is incredible. it's actually incredible, because he just fought two of some of the strongest sorcerers in all of history, beside the fact that he'd just taken on this cockroach beforehand, but this cockroach isn't that strong. Still, it's something impressive. So Yuta is not weak. But actually, what was I even trying to say? What was the point of all this? Yeah, the point was Kashimo. Yuta is not low diffing Kashimo because he won the free fall. Kashimo is super strong. He is unlike unlike these two. Kashimo is way more durable, way more durable. What happened to Uro, where her arm was taken off or she was one shot by Ishigori? That's not happening to Kashimo. I'm just gonna say that now. Kashimo is so... with that one shot that took Uro out, that would do serious damage to Kashimo, but it wouldn't just knock him out like it did Uro. Okay, I mean, Uro did have her arm gone, okay, and she just expanded her domain expansion. The point is, I think he's more durable than these two, and he has way more stamina. That doesn't mean he's weaker than Ishigori, right? I still think Ishigori is stronger because of the matchup. But just because Yuta is stronger than Ishigori does not mean he's stronger than Kashimo, if that makes sense. Because Jujutsu Kaisen is a series where matchups matter so much. It matters so much. Wait a minute, what did I just do? I put them the wrong way around. Whoops. Anyway, matchups matter a lot, so who you're fighting changes a lot. For example, this cockroach is weak as shit. This cockroach lost to Yuta, who, remember, wasn't using reverse cast energy, wasn't using positive output. Well, the moment he used positive output and reverse cast energy won. He didn't have Rika, by the way, and he wasn't using his mimicry technique. This thing is weak compared to these top tiers. But compared to, this thing is a terrible matchup for Uro. Remember, this Uro is capable of going hand to hand with Yuta and winning hand to hand because of her technique. She is able to not only block Ishigori's strongest attacks when she has a, sky ability activated, she is able to deflect it back at him and do serious damage. She was the first person that actually did a major damage to Ishigori. So even though she's this strong, just because of the bad matchup, because of the cockroaches, she can't deflect all these cockroaches, right? She's more of she can deflect hand to hand or big attacks. She can't deflect a lot of small attacks. So even though she's so much stronger than him, she still would prefer not to fight him. I still think she'd win, but it'd be a high difficulty fight. In that same way, or in that same sense, just because Kashimo is weaker than Yuta, generally, that does not mean Kashimo would lose to Yuta. Because Kashimo, is a great matchup. Seriously, a great matchup against someone like Yuta because of his stamina. Her curse technique is broken, exactly so. So that's what I mean though. So it's the matchups matter. Her curse technique is great against Yuta and Ishigori, but it's terrible for someone even weaker than her, the cockroach. So in that same sense, yes, Yuta is stronger than Kashimo, generally or overall, but that doesn't mean Yuta would beat Kashimo, because Kashimo is just a bad matchup for Yuta because of his stamina. So Gojo Tio says, nice. And Naruto Edit says, react to the promotional video already. Relax, man, relax. Hey, there's no rush to any of this. And plus, I wasn't planning on doing it anyway, but you know what? Even though you're being a bit demanding, just for you, man, I'll see what you're talking about. So I'm searching this on my other monitor. Well, I only have one monitor. That is my laptop. Okay, so I don't have two. Technically two. So let me search solo leveling. I'll search solo leveling. Let's see what this promotional material is about. And after this promotional material, so actually, let me update the text on here. So, watching vid. So who's the next one? Actually, I don't remember. And then Hakari versus Ishigori. Watching video, then Hakari fight. Oh, it doesn't even go that far. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Listen, man, you've been asking a lot, so where's the promotional material? Oh, I see. It's this one. Alright, let me pause the music. Let's see what this is about. Alright. Everyone, alright, live reaction. First time I'm ever reacting to anything on this channel. So before that, Kendall says, also Hakari, when he hit jackpot, hasn't really done much but punch and kick. But that's the thing, like, the saddest part is, because of Kashimo and Hakari's fight, both of them get downplayed heavily. But, like, because none of them have, like, conclusively won. I know, like, Hakari doesn't seem strong, but he is very, very powerful. Alright, let's watch this. Alright. There we go, Sunjin Woo. Damn, look at that. That looks clean as fuck. Wait, so this is for the anime? Or no, I don't think it's for that. It's just for the webtoon, right? Damn, my thing's lagging. I have so many things open, it's actually lagging. Not bad, actually. Let me play this back. Let's play the music, right? That was cool as fuck. So we saw like the monarchs, right? Damn. Sunjin Woo, Mr. Woo Woo, top of the verse. Oh, hey, that's me. 5 viewers. Hey. Alright, back to reality. Not bad. I like that. Solo Leveling, great series. Not a fan of the ending, but it wasn't a bad ending. Gojo Teal. Let's see. You say you have to understand he was tanking the maximum output of cursed energy in the universe off guard. On top of that, we saw a weak version of wait. Who are you talking about? Gojo Teal. You have to understand that he was tanking the maximum output in the universe off guard. On top of that, we saw a weak version. Wait, are you talking about Toji? Wait, oh, you're talking about Yuta. Right. I see what you're saying. He tanked the... yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. Tanked the output. And then we saw it's 2 special grades. Right. You know what? That's a fair point. Now, okay, I have a lot of counterpoints to that. First of all, to the point of him tanking Garante Blast, I can't counter that, actually. That's very impressive from Yuta. Yuta's durable as hell. Very durable. But to the point of what he did to the 2 special grades, like I said before, you must remember that it was not a 2v1 fight. That was a free-for-all. There is no way, no which world, which I can like fathomly understand how that can be like be considered 2v1. Because that's like, a lot of people say that, and it's just like, there's so, I mean, beside the fact, like reading the fight, there's just so much evidence in like dozens and dozens of like points in the fight that show it wasn't a 2v1, it was a free-for-all. Like, I'm not downplaying Yuta. What I'm saying is, why did I slow this up? I'm saying like Yuta won that free-for-all is so impressive. Like, so I get you. Like, you have to understand. I understand that. Like, he's very strong. He won like a battle royale with some of the strongest sorcerers in history, and he did tank the Garante Blast. The point is stamina. Like, stamina is the issue, right? So, actually, before I even go into stamina, so that's a very big issue for Yuta. It's the fact that he's not as durable as Kashimo. What I mean by this is when Yuta takes that like Garante Blast, or when he takes these like hits, he bleeds a lot. Like, let me show you. So, let me show you actually. Yuta takes damage, but he has so much cursed energy that he's able to reverse curse technique it and heal up, right? But that's different from having high durability. Now, let me explain this it's next chapter. When he fights Ishigori, for example, like, he takes one hit from Ishigori and he's bleeding like hell. Let me bring this up. Well, he takes like a Garante Blast and he needs to like reverse curse technique, like the absolute hell out of himself. So where is this? So this was not bad. I think he like avoided it or something. So let's come here. It's next chapter, yeah. Where he takes like one hit from Ishigori and he just bleeds like profusely. It's not that he's not durable. He's very, very, very durable, but he's just not as durable as Kashimo. Kashimo has taken so many hits from a monster like Hakari, and he's fine about reverse cast energy. It's crazy. I mean, maybe Kashimo has it, but it's just I've never seen Gege have a fight go this long. Well, just having it be obvious that someone's using reverse cast technique, or having it being said. I mean, it's possible, but it doesn't seem like Kashimo has it. So like, actually, before I get into this, 2 more comments. Kennel says, wait, I just realized, wouldn't Yuta be able to use... Wait, yeah, Yuta tanked it with his bare hands? Wait, what do you mean, what do you, I'm trying to like think, there's 2 different comments right now. First of all, let me respond to Gojo, who says, how? So what I mean is like, I just think Kashimo's more durable because he, as far as we know, is what I'm saying, is not using reverse curse technique. And he is, like, this blood is Hakari's blood. He is fine. He has fought this man for 12 minutes. Think about this. He has fought a guy with infinite cursed energy for 12 minutes. Hakari is no joke. His output is nuts. And he's taken all these hits, and he is clean as fuck. So obviously we see the blood here on his face. That's Hakari's. When it goes in the water, for some odd reason, like, the blood is still there. It's like dried up blood on his face. If he's not using reverse curse technique, that's the thing. It doesn't appear that he's using it, right? So that's the assumption I'm going on. If it turns out that Kashimo's been using reverse curse technique this whole time, then I will change my opinion a lot. I'll say Yuta's actually just as durable. But as far as we've seen, he has tussled with Hakari for 12 minutes. Like, he bleeds all this, like, much, but it's nothing. It's like minor, like, blood that comes out of his mouth and nose, and he's fine. Like, this is dried up blood on his face. See, it's blood. Yuta is not that durable. But in defense of Yuta, Yuta has reverse curse technique. So even though Yuta's very, very, very durable. And by the way, durable does not mean like strength. So yes, Yuta tanked the Garante Blast of his hand, but first of all, remember that was a weaker version of Garante Blast. When it's a full powered one, he can't tank it with his hand. As we saw their two clashes. When Ishigori went full power, he can't tank that with his hand. So that's one thing. But second of all, blocking something like with your hand is not a durability. Well, it kind of is a durability feat, but it's not really. That's more of like a strength feat. That's a feat to Yuta's cursed energy and overall cursed energy, right? Like, durability is how much damage you can take and just you being fine by it. Those are two different things. I hope that makes sense. So when I say Kashimo's more durable, I'm not saying Kashimo has more cursed energy than Yuta. That's definitely not the case. I'm saying his base durability, or like his base defense or whatnot, is not way higher. That's definitely not the case, but it's substantially higher than Yuta's. I may be wrong. If Kashimo has been in fact using reverse curse technique, then I'm wrong. But I'm just, like, it's been 4 chapters and there's been no mention of it or no panel showing him healing himself, so it doesn't seem like that's the case, but I could be wrong. So that's what I mean by like, Kashimo's more durable, you know. I'm not saying he's as strong as he's strong actually. Hand to hand, he would like, how would that go? Hand to hand, Yuta and Kashimo? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I think they'd actually be pretty even. Like, I think if Kashimo went hand to hand with Ishigori, he would also get blown back, right? But I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be as bad though. He wouldn't take as much damage. That's the conclusion that I'll come to, right? But you have to remember, Kashimo has his wait a second. Is the stream okay? Okay, cool. I thought it went down for a second. Whoops. The point is, Kashimo could easily, like, blow off Yuta's limbs with his guaranteed hit lightning technique. Of course, Yuta can regenerate with reverse curse technique. The issue is that would drain his stamina. Holy crap, I just realized I spent so much time arguing Yuta versus Kashimo, and it's not even like it's supposed to be a topic of this video. Actually, you know what? How about this? Like, to those still here, I will just make a full-on video for that, like a full-on Kashimo versus Yuta. How about that? So the point is, I think Kashimo would do a lot better than you think, but Yuta's not weak. But I'll just make a video for that. Anyway, how about we discuss Hakari versus Ishigori. Okay. So this is a very interesting matchup. So is it working, by the way? Is my stream working? So for some reason on my screen, it says like it's... No, it is working. Okay, I don't know why I have like a black screen on my screen. How do you think Kashimo would deal with Yuta and Rika spamming curse technique at him? Oof. I think Kashimo, if Uro was able to tank it, I think Kashimo would definitely be able to tank it with how much he's tanked from... you know, now that I'm thinking about it, because it would be a 2v1, wouldn't it? Rika and Yuta. But he does have his lightning guaranteed hit technique. Okay, you know what? I'll save all of this Yuta versus Kashimo talk for a video. because I've spent way too much time on this, and I would love to, like, seriously, this would be a great video idea. I would love to talk about this, because I need to get into the second part, right? How long has this been going on, by the way? It's been like an hour, so I need to get into I was about to say Hashigori, oh my god. Hakari versus Ishigori, I mix their names. Hashigori, that's not a bad sounding name. Right, so Hashigori, my new favorite character. Hakari versus Ishigori. How would this fight go? So, the issue is, Ishigori, we know his personality, right? He doesn't pull he's not like Yuta, where he doesn't go all out to begin with. Or maybe he's not taking it, he does, like, Yuta doesn't, what's the word? Oh, bloodlusted, that's the word. Yuta is nowhere near as bloodlusted as Ishigori or Udo, which is like a big downside to Yuta. Trust me, like, your mentality in a fight determines how strong you are. A big example of this is like Akainu from One Piece. Like, your mentality does deter, like, being strong is one thing, but having like a bloodthirsty mentality makes you stronger, because it changes the way you fight. So Ishigori, from what we've actually seen, what chapter was this? Let's say it was 176. Is bloodthirsty as hell. He's not like Yuta. He's not like Yuta at all. So obviously Yuta's stronger than Ishigori. Like, I'm definitely not saying that. Yuta's stronger than Ishigori, but Ishigori would be a horrible matchup for Hakari, who needs the fight to not end instantly, because he needs to get his first jackpot, right? It's hard to say if Hakari gets unlucky, he loses. The thing is, even if Hakari is lucky, actually, let me first explain Hakari's domain expansion. So obviously I made a 10-minute video explaining this, but there were actually things I didn't even include in that video, because it's just so complex and there's so much intricacies and, like, you know, between the lines things. So Hakari's domain expansion is not solely luck based like everyone seems to think. His odds are nowhere near 1 out of 239. It's not. His domain expansion and his ability Pure Love Train, so his domain expansion Restless Gambler, is rigged heavily to favor him. Heavily. It's so unbelievably rigged. It's like the saying goes, the house always wins. So when you go and gamble, the casino always wins, always makes money, like the most money, always wins. Hakari is the casino. This is why he says he's never gone past 30 spins. Mathematically, that doesn't make sense. He has so many like little tidbits or like extra rules to his domain, which just really like boost his odds. Like, it's crazy. If I just had to, like, off the top of my head, say what his true odds are, I know this is like crazy, but you have to read in between the lines for these things. Hakari's true probability of hitting jackpot is probably like 1 out of 15, 1 out of 20, like 1 out of 30 at most, and that's when he's unlucky. If he's like lucky, his probability is probably like 1 out of 6 or 7 of hitting jackpot. But I know that sounds so crazy, but you trust me, his domain expansion is so complex. I made a 10-minute video on his domain expansion, and I didn't even cover like half the things I wanted to cover, like some of the important things, which is crazy, right? But it's like you said, Kendall, right? Even beyond his like normal luck, the issue is Hakari needs to hit jackpot on his first spin. Because if he doesn't hit jackpot, like, Ishigori one-shots him. Because the idea is, right, I think, personally, without jackpot, Hakari's probably this strong. He's, like, around here. He's, like, you know, and that's highball. You could even argue he's around here, right? But, okay, so, obviously, first I'm going to clear up the fact that in most cases, like, if they were to fight, like, 100 times, like, 90 or 95 of those fights, Ishigori would just win, because Hakari can't hit jackpot first time. Like, Hakari, don't get me wrong, like I said, Hakari's domain expansion is rigged to favor him, but Ishigori is a bloodthirsty man. He one shot from his Garante Blast. Where is this? If he just, okay, Hakari uses domain expansion. First roll, first Richi, he doesn't win. Alright, oh whoops, sorry, I just hit my desk. Boom, Garante Blast, he's dead. Hakari is not surviving this. So So let's see, wait, there's 3 more comments. So Gojo says, and ask for Yuta versus Uro and Ryu Yuta. I would, Gojo, respectfully so. If you don't agree, listen, like I always say on this channel, you're entitled to your opinion. Like, that's totally cool. And I'm not saying, like, you know, it's a bad take. I'm not saying it's a bad take. But personally, I just think Yuta would get donkey slapped by if it was a 2v1, he would get donkey slapped by Ishigori and Ryu. I mean, Ishigori and Uro, sorry. Like, it's, these two, if they teamed up, it wouldn't even be a high diff. It would be like a low to mid diff. Being generous, I would actually say mid diff, actually. Like, trust me, in Jujutsu Kaisen world, teaming up greatly boosts boosts the abilities of 2 people fighting. It's nuts how much it does that. So if it, free fall is one thing, 2v1 is a whole different thing. So let's see. Kendall says agreed, and then this is quite a lot of comments. Gojo, you say Yuta has never been bloodlusted in the current manga, only in... Yeah, that's true. Oh, he was bloodlusted in Volume 0, I forgot. But yeah, that's why I said, I was talking to a commenter in my Hakari versus Yuta video. So I said that Yuta would win 60 or 65 of the 100. If Yuta and Hakari fought 100 times, Yuta would win 65 times, 60 times, maybe, or 55, right? But if Yuta had a bloodlusted mentality from the start, Yuta would win 98 of those 100 fights. Being bloodlusted, so for people who don't power scale much or aren't part of that community, which is totally fine, by the way. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to explain this to you, right? Being bloodlusted it really, really, really changes how you fight, and that can be good and bad, but in almost every case, it's a good thing. The reason Akainu is so strong isn't just because from One Piece, isn't just because he's strong as fuck. He is strong as fuck. It's because of his bloodthirsty mentality. If Yuta had a bloodthirsty mentality, he would rip apart Hakari. But the issue is, so this is an argument I make, because he's not bloodthirsty, Hakari would have a really good chance to hit his first jackpot, which would lead to increased probability, which would lead to second jackpot, which could lead to another increased probability or increased spins, which leads to third jackpot. So it's kind of the thing about Hakari is once he gets that first jackpot, he's set. He can be set to keep hitting jackpots again, because his domain is so rigged. That's why the idea that, oh, Hakari is only strong for 4 minutes is so false. His domain expansion is rigged to favor him, so once he hits his first jackpot, which the odds are already 1 out of 15 or 1 out of 10, if you look into the ability, it's not 1 out of 239. Once he hits that first jackpot, he hit 4 or 5 more. It's crazy. So the point being, so there's actually a few comments I need to read once I make this point. Ishigori is not the same type of fighter as Yuta. So that's why Yuta just... Oh, I think, Gojo, did you delete your message? Message retracted. Oh, I wonder what you said. Anyway, because I just that notification came up. Anyway, Ishigori being a bloodthirsty fighter just unfortunately wouldn't let Hakari get that first jackpot. He would just kill him. He'd be like, what's up, man? Garante blast. I mean, so that's 90 or 95 out of 100 fights, Ishigori wins. Now, let's talk about the 5 or 10 fights where Hakari would win. So, I am of the belief that... Actually, before I even get into that, let me read these comments. So, Step... Oh, Step, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? I saw you, Step, you made some great comments on my Hakari versus Yuta video, by the way. They were really good. So he says, great cursed output doesn't necessarily translate to lethal attack. That's true, but it's just in the case of this monster here, right? This is lethal. This is really lethal. He's leveling, my god. The distance and the damage it does. The point is, if Hakari doesn't have jackpot, this would kill him. So that's the point I was trying to make. So I think because your comment was from what I said before. Gojo Teo says GG, and he had a message retracted. I'm not sure what you're trying to say before, but GG, yeah, I guess so. And then PP, so that's the nickname for the legend, says Kaio stream. What's up, man? How you doing, PP? Hope you're doing good, and hope you're better from your illness as well. I hope you're doing good, man. But right, back onto the Oh, one other comment by Prodigy. But Hakari is fighting a bloodthirsty guy as well. True. No. But Prodigy, remember. Hakari came into the fight with Jackpot already, which he got from Charles. That is so crucial. I think that's the whole reason he had the Charles fight, mainly to explain his abilities, because his abilities are so complex. But it really was. Like, look. Wait, let me just... If only my internet was faster, damn it. Like, look. Hakari comes into the fight. Pause. Hakari... Oh, his last chapter, I missed it. Actually, I was on the right chapter. He joins the fight already in Jackpot. If Hakari... Look at this, it'll load. Sorry for my poor internet. If Hakari joins the fight, look at this, without Jackpot and tries to get on his first try, he's dead. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, had this fight started without Hakari and Jackpot, Kashimo would have killed him. Like, 98, 99, not 99, I'd actually 95 times out of 100, he would have just ended the fight right there. Like, that's why it was so vital for him to hit this first jackpot. Because he hits the first jackpot, domain is rigged to give him more jackpots. So, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's okay. Trust me, man. I forget tons of stuff all the time. Like, there's just so much information to remember off the top of your head, right? I'm doing good, man. Yourself? I'm actually doing pretty good, actually. So, you know, I got the video for tomorrow ready. Actually, I have 2 videos ready. So, I have a video about Yuta versus Kenjaku. Actually, I might scrap that video. I've recorded it, but I might scrap it. And I also have Toji and Maki, like what their difference is, like Toji versus Maki. So that was like a 30-minute video I recorded like 2 days ago. I hope that turns out well. So I'm scrapping the Yuta versus Kenjaku video for Yuta versus Kashimo. Even though I've already recorded it, you know, kind of the stream has inspired me for to make a Kashimo versus Yuta video. Like, I'm gonna scrap my other Yuta video for this one. Because that is like that's a way better matchup than Yuta versus Kenjaku. Like, that's actually an even matchup. Okay, so let's see the other comments. Step says, I honestly think Kashimo's attack is much more lethal than Ryu. It's concentrated on specific parts and destroys it. Oh, okay, no. Step, okay, the point I was trying to say was that if Hakari doesn't have Jackpot, Ishigori one-shots him. That's what I was trying to say. So, like, when the fight starts and, you know, Hakari activates his domain expansion, Hakari is only as strong as, like, a grade 1 sorcerer at best. Like, he's, like, around here. If he doesn't hit Jackpot right away, he dies. But, if Hakari has Jackpot, no way in hell is Ishigori taking him out in one shot. Like, that would be a drawn-out fight right there. Like, that... Seriously, I think Ishigori would push him to, like, 3rd, maybe even 4th Jackpot. So that's what I mean by, like, kind of just started there. That's what I mean by Ishigori one-shots Hakari. I mean, like, base Hakari. So Step also says, so interesting name, Step. I've never seen anyone with that name. Also, I feel like people really underestimate Hakari's strength without Jackpot. No, I get you. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Hakari is not weak. Like, I'm saying he's like as strong as Yuji, right? Or maybe like he could fight Naoya without Jackpot, which is nuts. Or, like, he would be as strong as Todo without Jackpot. I'm not saying he's weak, but you have to remember, like, Ishigori is a absolute fucking monster. He's one of the strongest sorcerers in all of history. So it's like, I truly think Ishigori would low diff everyone here. He would low diff them. So it's not like Hakari's weak. Like, I'm giving him, like, grade 1, like, high tier grade 1 status in base. It's just like Ishigori is just really strong. So PP says, I recovered like 90% and I have potentially good news. Okay, can't wait to hear that. And I'm glad you've recovered mostly. Like, once you recover 90%, you're good to go. Prodigy says, I made a video on Toji versus Maki. Just really? You made a video on Toji versus Maki? Because I did see, like, you sent him Discord message saying you just released a video. So I don't actually know what the video was. So let me search Prodigy. I can't spell. It's DIGYJJK. See what that actually, what would that bring up on Google? Not yet. I'll save this for YouTube. Go there. Alright, let me check this out. So anyway, while I check this out, so this is my channel. What's up? Hey, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching, you know, Man, please do if you like the stuff. I don't even know what I'm saying, man. I always feel so awkward asking people to subscribe. Like, it's just so awkward. I can do it for a video, but doing it live, man. So, oh, by the way, first of all, like, thank you so much to everyone who watched this video here. Like, this is the best performing video I've ever had in this short time. Like, in a day, it had like 250 views, which obviously, like, 200 views is pretty good, right? Like, I mean, it's not anything crazy, like, but what I mean is, like, in a day, or like in 2 days having this one, like, that is crazy. And beside that, it has so much positive feedback. So, like, really, like, thank you everyone for, like, it's really, you know, inspiring me to make more Jujutsu stuff. But let me get to Prodigy's thing. So I searched this. Prodigy subscribed, you know. Oh, he did! Toji versus Awakened Maki. Shit, I've already recorded a video on that. Okay, so I will, oh, Gojo subscribed too. Gojo Tio, thanks, man. So, you watching the stream? You're a legend, absolute legend. I will watch this once the thing is done. So I've watched these two. I kind of skipped to the beginning of this one because I was trying to answer something. But you make some great videos, Prodigy. So, let's see. Oh, by the way, to anyone who hasn't, like, Prodigy, he's just starting out. He's already got, like, great graphics and editing. Like, check him out. He's pretty, like, he's really good. He's really good. So, let me see. PP says, there's a local manga competition running. I have my manga. Oh, you write manga. Partially written. Sad thing is I'm in the pre-finals. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. I hope, like, if you do participate, you knock it out of the park and win. But, you know what? Like, at the very least, I hope you, like, pass your exams and do really well, because it seems like you're studying hard for that, so that's good. And I hope you not only pass, like, do really good, I hope you also have time to submit your manga and win that. So wishing you the best, man, because you are, like, a legend. BP. Haha, not big enough channel for that yet. Hey, don't worry, man, I'm a tiny channel too, so it's all good. But your quality is, like, obviously beside the mic, which I think you fixed actually, like, your editing and graphics and, like, titles, like, are all really good, and you have great knowledge. One thing I'll actually say, so this is, like, to help you get, like, more recognition, or, like, get recommended more, or, like, be in more, like, search history. So, like, when people search, like, say, like, chapter 100, actually, like, add in the tags and in the in the description, like, actually, you know what? The best way to explain this is if I just show you actually from my channel. So, what I mean, like, if you add certain words to your description, it'll help your videos be seen in recommended, or, like, especially in YouTube search and tags. Step says subbed. Oh yeah, thanks, man. I think you did sub, like, from my last video. I really appreciate it. And it's always good to see someone who knows a lot, like, of what they're talking about when they watch, because I saw from your comment, like, you know what you're talking about, which is always good to see. Because trust me, there are a lot of people who don't, which is fine. Like, that's completely fine. But it's when they get aggressive on me, which is sad. So this is a tip, like, for Prodigy, of course, but, like, to anyone who just, like, wants to become a YouTuber, keep in mind, I'm a tiny YouTuber, so maybe you shouldn't take advice from me. But if you want to start growing, right, do, like, add, like, this kind of thing. So, like, for example, like, say the title is Yuta versus, like, Hakari, add that to the description, because it just helps it be seen. So if people search Yuta vs Hakari, it's seen more. Or, for example, like, something that's searched a lot, so I look into the analytics of all my videos. Something that was searched a lot for one of my videos was, like, strongest Jujutsu Kaisen character, like, power levels Jujutsu Kaisen. If you add that to the description, and especially to the tags, it just helps it be seen. Now, obviously, it's a whole different case, like, you know, the quality of the video, because if people just click on a video, I think they need to, like, stay clicked for 30 seconds for it to count as a view. And, you know, obviously if people don't like the video, then they won't watch it and they won't subscribe. So obviously you got to make good stuff, but which you do, like, that's for sure. But, like, just to help out, like, a starting channel like myself, like, these are things I had to learn the hard way. Like, it'll make you be seen more, because, you know, there are channels with, like, thousands of subs, which, like, mad shout out to them. Like, it's impressive to that far. But they automatically get recommended, or they already have, like, a fan base, right? But to build yourself up, you'll need to do, like, these things to push yourself out more. So that's not just for, like, Jujutsu Kaisen content. That's for anything on YouTube. So if anyone here is, like, aspiring to be a YouTuber, like, that's great tips. adding things to the description, and especially like the tags. So yeah, which I imagine like a lot of people aspire to be that, which is cool, you know. It's always good to push your creativity out there and, you know, express yourself. Thanks. I didn't even know that, Lamau. Yeah, no, for sure. Check the comments of like, especially like other YouTubers, the big, really big ones, especially like the ones that have like 10, 20, 100,000 subs. They don't do this. They add the tags, of course, but they don't add it to their description because they don't need to. But for small YouTubers, like that's how you just start getting yourself out there. So PP says 2 things. Oh, he's actually said quite a lot. Let's read this. It's short manga competition, but if I don't have the time to submit, I'll rethink some stuff. Yeah, that's always good because like you'll have time to like better your work or like edit it. Because, you know, like they say, like nothing's ever perfect, right? You can always improve on stuff. 24 pages, you might try go for 100. That is beastly, man. If you can do that, good luck. And you'll definitely be one of the first to read. Gonna go finish remaining food now. Cheers and have a nice stream. Also a good stream. See, this is why PP's a legend, man. Like, have a nice day too, and I hope your food's great. But I will be glad to read that. Like, just comment it down like any video or like in a live stream, your manga, and I will be the first to read. Yeah, I'll go to get back to my videos myself. Wait, are you a YouTuber too? Gojo Tio? Wait a minute, really? Because I can't check like people's channels from my chat, so I'll actually have to go through the notification. A sneaky thing. So Gojo Tio. Okay, so it does open your channel. If only my internet wasn't so bad. Oh man. Let's see. Man, listen guys, I don't know how the stream is running when I can't even load a YouTube page. Oh, you are a YouTuber. Not bad. Like these, I like these thumbnails. Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll check you out. I'll actually check you out. I always love to see like, especially creators starting out, because it's just nice to see, especially people who are passionate, like, and they love the series. It's good to see. So I hope you do well with your channel. I hope you can like grow a lot, because it's a grind, right? It's a grind. But yeah, my god, I went on like such a big tangent. I should get back to power scaling, shouldn't I? Right? So okay, so kind of to give how do I say this, like a summary of what I said 25 minutes ago, because it's been a while. Hakari, most likely. Yes, I am. Okay, yeah, because I'm seeing the messages like 30 seconds late, so I just saw your message now. But yeah, Hakari versus Ishigori. What? Just like a brief recap of what I said like 20 minutes ago. Ishigori wins the fight 95 or 90 times out of 100 simply because he's bloodlusted, and he would end the fight so quickly before Hakari has a chance to hit jackpot. He's not like Yuta. He's not a nice guy. So, but if Hakari hits his first jackpot, now this is where things get interesting. Let's say, because Hakari's odds are very high to begin with, Hakari hits jackpot in his first or second attempt against Ishigori, before Ishigori can like one-shot him. How does Ishigori Infinite Cursed Energy fare against... Did I say Ishigori Infinite Cursed Energy? Sorry. I meant Hakari Infinite Cursed Energy fare against Ishigori. I think... You know, I've actually never thought about this. Holy shit. I think Hakari... I think Hakari might win this. Simply due, like, depending on how many jackpots he can get, and because his domain is favored to let him keep hitting jackpots. So the thing is, like, obviously his domain is rigged, so for the very first time he hits jackpot, he's gonna keep hitting them. He would probably beat Ishigori by the 4th or 5th jackpot. And that's not even, like, because I think, this is just kind of a theory, we'll see next chapter, I think with his 4th rainbow jackpot, he'll probably get, like, a special ability. Because he's gonna need to beat Kashimo somehow, right? So Gojo says... Who do you think will be the top 3 strongest in order and the end of Jujutsu Kaisen? So, do you mean in all of history or characters? If you mean like, I guess same answer, isn't it? Number 1 is Gojo. It's Gojo, man. Like, I think Gojo's stronger than Sukuna, but we have not seen Sukuna's full power, so it's kind of like a poor. Like I'm lacking evidence for Sukuna, or because we haven't seen him at full power, but we have seen Gojo at full power, so it's kind of unfair. Right, it is a bit unfair to say that, but I would say Gojo and Sukuna obviously 1 and 2. But who I would put at second? Now it's a question of, is anyone going to be stronger than... let me go back to the tier list. This is good. Is anyone going to be stronger than Yuta? So actually, Prodigy, I just see a comment. Sukuna, Gojo, and the last spot is up for grabs. Exactly. Yeah. So you're exactly the same train of thought I have. So it's that third place, isn't it? That's like, who the hell goes there? Presumably, Kenjaku with 10 million cursed spirits is up there. Like, no one beside those two is beating him with 10 million. Like, that's just a nuts amount of number. But Kenjaku, by the end of the series, that's the question that you have, is going to be dead, so he can't be included in that. Oh, you mean only the students? Oh, sorry about that. So, obviously, this is tough. It's unfortunate, but Nobuta's going to be last. Simply because, like, Nobuta's not weak. Like, look at where I placed her. Like, actually, crazy enough, I've seen tier lists where people placed her, like, here, which is kind of fair in this place. Like, I've seen people place her here. Like, I don't even think it's fair, man. Nobuta's stronger than that. Nobuta is very strong. It's like, I don't think she's weak by any means. And keep in mind, grade 1 is, like, for the normal, like, even for special sorcerers, grade 1 is as strong as you'll ever get. Like, that's the peak. So she's not weak. But Megumi and Yuji are, like, have main character, BS to them. So the idea is that by the end of the series, Yuji is going to get Sukuna's curse techniques, right? But I actually think that's kind of like a misconception. Maybe not misconception, but Gege kind of changed his mind. I think by the end of the series, Yuji is not going to get Sukuna's slicing abilities, because that's just so specific. Like, innately specific to Sukuna. I think what he's gonna get is, like, the fire abilities that Sukuna had. So let me bring that up. What chapter was that? So it must be around here. Maybe a bit, actually. No, it was like 2 chapters before this. So if you remember, Sukuna was able to, like, create fire, which was not an ability unique to him. But from what what it appears from what he says is, like, so his last chapter is like, this is something anyone could do, but only those of a high level, or only those that have the knowledge. I think by the end of the series, Yuji is gonna get this, because it doesn't seem like a curse technique. It's so, like, I don't know why people don't know this. I think maybe people have, but no one. I've never seen anyone talk about it. Look, so Sukuna activates this, like, something. He opens something, which is not his curse technique. It seemed like something in general. And then Jogo isn't Sukuna's curse technique slicing and slashing, so it's not his curse technique. I won't cheat by revealing my curse technique. This is something anyone could access if they trained enough or if they had the knowledge. So what I think is, by the end of the series, Yuji is going to have this high levels of, like, flame technique, because you don't need a curse technique to use it. So it's perfect for Yuji. So that's what I think the author meant when Gojo said Yuji's going to inherit something from Sukuna. Not his slicing abilities, it's going to be these flaming abilities. Plus, slicing abilities are way too violent and gruesome for Yuji, who's someone who doesn't want to kill people, right? So, I think Yuji is going to be strong as fuck by the end of the series, without even the slicing abilities. He's going to have, like, those abilities, right? So, at the very least, I would probably place Yuji, like, at least low-end special grade, possibly mid-end special grade. Maybe even high-end, depending on how, like, proficient he gets. So that's my opinions on Yuji. Now, Megumi, how strong is Megumi gonna be? Actually, so Step says, I think eventually Yuji and Megumi will get there. That's what I'm about to get into, yeah. So, and then Prodigy says, will Sukuna even be in Yuji at the end? Yeah, so that's the point. Even if he loses Sukuna, he's gonna have these flame abilities, which are even fucking up Jogo in one hit. This is what I think was meant, like, he's gonna inherit Sukuna's techniques. Sukuna will somehow leave his body. This is my theory, so if I'm right, guys, just remember I called it. Sukuna's, at some point, somehow he's gonna lose his body. Like, not lose his body, he's gonna, like, separate from Yuji, because Sukuna seems to have some sort of plan. And when he does that, Yuji's gonna, like, somehow learn this technique. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but he's not gonna have Sukuna, but he's gonna be strong as hell. That's the point. So, right, that's how strong wait, I saw one more comment, sorry, by Step. That's why I had Sukuna is on some next level Jujutsu knowledge. His Jujutsu knowledge runs deep. Exactly, man. It's crazy. But how strong is Megumi gonna be, right? So one thing I'll say, so maybe if some people were here from last stream, I think the comment that Gojo made about how Megumi has the potential to be as strong as him is false, is 100% false. I don't think it's for the reason that you think. Actually, it is for the reason that you think. Megumi said that in the past, Gojo said in the past that a member of the Limitless, like a member of the Gojo clan with Limitless and Six Eyes had killed, or well, let's say had a draw with someone who had the 10 Shadows technique from the Zenin clan in the past. They kind of like killed each other. And Megumi's theory was that the user of the 10 Shadows technique had used Mahoroga to kill them both. The point of what I'm trying to say is, think about this. Gojo's assumption of Megumi has the potential to be strong is based on that fight. But the Satoru user in the past, so the guy who had the Six Eyes and Limitless, was not strong. If he had died to Mahoroga, that was not a strong use of the Limitless technique. We've seen that just because you have the Limitless and Six Eyes does not mean you're automatically Gojo level. Gojo, when he fought Toji, wasn't that strong. I mean, he was special grade, he was like around here, but he's not as strong as this. So the version, how do I say this? The 10 Shadows user, who in the past, like Gojo says Megumi has the potential to be that strong, most likely is only this strong, like mid-end. So that's why Megumi might cap out like around here. But since he's like the MC, well, he's like the duo protagonist, and he has like so much potential and the author loves him, I think he might actually even end up high-end special grade, to being honest. Like, as crazy as that sounds, I think the author might go that route for Megumi. How is he going to get this strong so fast? I have no clue. Because like this is something that's going to take like 10 years of training, right? So I really don't see how he's going to get that strong, but I mean, I hope he just doesn't like rush everything and just give Megumi some random power up. We'll see what happens with that. So the point is, I think depending on how strong Yuji's flames are, Yuji might be stronger than Megumi. But it depends on how high Megumi's potential is too. It's really hard to say, but those two, the point is, are going to be like high-end special grade. Maybe not. Maybe depending on how fast the series ends, they could just end up being like a strong low-end special grade. So Prodigy says, I don't think any student has the potential to be Gojo's level. Oh, definitely not. At the very least, like, if they were to have that potential, I don't think Yuji has it. Like, by default, he doesn't. But if Megumi were to be that strong, it would take like 20, 30 years at least. And that's if. I still don't think he can do that. So I agree with you. Like, they can't be as strong as Gojo. Now, Gojo Tio, funny enough, says, wait, what is, I think you like kind of misspelled. So, gets the slicing and fire reverse technique. So, you're saying, what if he gets the slicing plus the fire and the reverse cursed energy? Not to mention, he would also be used. So, if he got all of that, the Divergent Fist would be garbage. Like, he would never in his life have to use that again if he gets like the flames or slicing techniques. I just don't think, like, the reason I think Yuji won't get the slicing technique, first of all, if he does, to answer your question, he would be like Sukuna level instantly. He would be like Gojo level. But the reason I don't think he's gonna get that, like, point one, he'd be too overpowered. I know he's the MC, but that's like too powerful. Point two, it just does not suit Yuji, like, at all. He doesn't want to kill people. Like, this is the worst ability for his character, like, by far and away. The third reason being, it does seem like Sukuna and Yuji are gonna like split or separate at some point. And when that happens, Yuji can't inherit. So this is just my idea. I could be wrong. Like, it's just theory crafting for me. I just don't think he can inherit like inherited curse technique. Like, I just don't think he can do that. Whoops, sorry, I hit the mic. Like, it could be possible, but it would make him too overpowered. It doesn't suit Yuji, and it would make more sense, like, for him just to get the flames, like, in every way, narratively and power scalingly. Like, it would just make way more sense for him to get the flames, and not the cursed, like, slashing techniques. Plus, if Sukuna does separate from Yuji, why would Yuji keep the like cursed technique of Sukuna? I get Gojo said it would be imprint, but I think the idea that the author was going for was the flames from the beginning. So Prodigy says if he can tame. Oh, by the way, one last thing to Gojo Tio. I think reverse curse technique is something like anyone can learn, like a positive output and thing. It just like you just need like a very deep understanding of cursed energy, and this isn't my theory. This is a very popular theory in the fan base that nobody's gonna heal because she's gonna master or learn reverse curse technique. The reason being is that when Gojo learned reverse curse technique, he said that he's like close to the core of cursed energy, and that's how he got it. And that's what the exact word for word. That's what Nobita says when she's fighting Mahito. Like the words that Gojo said before he unlocked reverse cursed energy. So it seems very, 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 very likely that Nobita is going to learn how to use reverse curse technique, which is fair. Like she needs a buff, not because she's weak, she's strong, but she just needs to like keep up with, you know, how strong all these current characters are. And she kind of like, if she gets reverse curse technique, like she would move up for sure. Like she might even be like here or some shit. Like she would be around here. So and she needs to come back into the story somehow because she's not dead. So it seems like the story is going that way. Like I said, not my idea. I didn't come up with that. It's like a very popular theory in the fan base because there's so much evidence for it. But in that sense, Yuji can learn reverse curse technique. Like that's something everyone can learn. You just need like I said, a deep understanding of cursed, of like not cursed techniques, of cursed energy in general. Let me drink this water real quick. So while I read this, so actually I'll read them first. Prodigy says if he can tame Maharoga, somehow he can. Wait. Oh no. I was talking about Megami for a moment. I thought you were talking about Yuji. I was like, what the hell? Tame him like a pet. Megami, dear God, if he gets Maharoga, that'd be crazy. But I don't think he can. I think Sukuna killed Maharoga, so I don't think Megami can summon Maharoga. Am I wrong on that? I always assume that. Let me drink this water real quick. There you go. But yeah, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess there was no evidence to say what I'm saying is true. But I had always assumed since Sukuna had killed Maharoga, like outside of the. Wait a minute. Actually, it's possible that Maharoga still exists for Megami. I just assumed he lost the ability to summon Maharoga when Sukuna killed him outside of the ritual, but that's just an assumption on my part, I guess. So, wow, there's quite a few comments. Let me read this. Gojo Tio says, my bad. No. You asked a great question. Like, that seriously. I think most of the fan base actually it goes along the lines of what you think. Like, most of the fans think he's going to get these slicing abilities, which is... I mean, I guess it's fair. No one really thinks that deeply about this. I don't know why I did, but like usually getting the flames, I've never seen. There have definitely been like people who've said that probably somewhere online, but like that's just kind of an idea I thought of. Mark my words, he will get it. If he does, like shout out to you, Gojo to you. Like shout out to you if he gets them. Step says Gojo says it will be ingrained in him. No. So I get what you're saying, Step. So I think like the initial idea was like. The thing is, right, I know what you mean, like ingrained. I like just for the points that I've said before, I just don't think he's gonna like the slicing abilities will be ingrained. Because remember, that's something that was said in like chapter 1 or 2 of the whole series when Gojo says that. So like I think as time went on and as the author thought of like this ability to give Sukuna, I don't think he had given the Sukuna like I don't think the author had decided to give Sukuna flame abilities to begin with. I actually think, like, the author specifically later on gave Sukuna this ability for Yuji to inherit. Because remember, this ability can be inherited by anyone or used by anyone without a reverse curse technique. Look what Sukuna says. I won't cheat by revealing my curse technique, sorry. It's not a curse technique. It's something anyone can use. So that's what I mean, like this is something Yuji 100% can get, and it will be balanced because he won't be overpowered as hell. And it will not go against his character because the slicing ability does not fit his character at all. Like, he doesn't want to kill people. And, like, a inherited reverse curse technique is something that's specific to someone's bloodline. Yuji is not part of Sukuna's bloodline as far as we're concerned. So, yeah, that's my opinion, Step, on that. If you disagree, the thing is, I know I can be wrong. Like, this is a theory I have. The general fan base agrees with what you and Gojo Tio says. Like, that's the thing. So... True, everyone is capable of it, but not everyone will get it. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I mean. So it's like, even though it's something everyone can get, it seems like such a high level technique. Gojo doesn't even know about this. No one knows about this. This seems like something that was, I guess, lost to time in Jujutsu like history. So it seems like even though it's something anyone can learn, only Yuji is gonna get it. Specifically because the knowledge is lost and because it's very, very hard to learn. Presumably, because no one else in the whole series has used this. As a matter of fact, Jogo doesn't even know what this is. Like, wait, think about that. Jogo does not know what this is. And Jogo is supposed to be like the... So, yeah, this is something that's just been lost to time. So, like, even though everyone can get it, only Yuji is gonna have it. So, ATPR says, no, Maharuga will only die when it's killed while it's tamed. That's fair. So because I had the assumption I had always had was when Sukuna had killed him outside the ritual, Maharuga was like just dead, right? But you know, actually it does make sense why he would just come back into like Megumi's 10 Shadows technique, like for him to summon and then challenge again. I always assumed like that wasn't the case, but that could be the case. Like, you guys actually could be right. I can't lie. I never thought otherwise. So good points, guys. Dwani Breed, oh, good to see you, man. What's up? Yo, how's it going, my dudes? What's up, man? What's up? How's your day going, bro? You doing good? And then we were just talking some Jujutsu Kaisen. Wang Min, I'm very sorry if I butchered or mispronounced your name. I'm trying my best. I'll call you like Wang, okay? What do you think about... I'm just so awkward of names, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at pronouncing them. So he says, Oshi, I'm not too sure. What do you think about the memory manipulation that Yuji does to Choso until... Oh, so the thing is, I think that theory has already been disproven. Like, the memory manipulation thing. So the reason Choso had those memories is because Yuji is a part of his... Actually, his memories do get manipulated a bit. But no. That memory manipulation couldn't be like a cuss technique of what's his name, Yuji. So let me bring up. I think it was around like 160s when Yuji fought Higuruma. So the reason why it's insanely likely that Yuji does not have a cuss technique, well, he doesn't. Factually, he does not have it. Is because when Higuruma, by the way, top 3 like favorite character for me. Love Higuruma, like absolute legend. When he activates his domain, so let's go down a bit. No, it's the next chapter where it explains it. Basically, Yuji 1,000,000% it's confirmed he does not have a cuss technique. So, with this fight, all the theories of Yuji having a cuss technique that manipulates memories like was thrown out the window. The Todo thing seems to be like... Todo just seems stupid as fuck. Like, not stupid as intelligently. He has high battle intelligence, but he just seems like dumb and silly. If that makes sense. That's why he kind of had those thoughts. It's kind of like a fantasy of Tojo. He's kind of a weird guy. Love him though. So that's what was going on with Todo. And the reason Choso saw those memories was because Yuji was on the point, like, brink of death. And then because of Choso's like very, very unique ability of like blood manipulation, being connected to his brothers, he was able to sense that Yuji was his brother, and it kind of put these images in his head that Yuji is his brother. So like, that's not specific, that's not something that's happened because of Yuji, that happened because of Choso's technique, if that makes sense. So it just seems like it's very, very like odd and specific how like Todo and what's his name, Choso, had the memories of Yuji. For the longest time, I thought like, just like you, I thought like it was a cuss technique from Yuji, but this fight here proved for sure like Yuji does not have a cuss technique. I'm guessing you don't have a cuss technique. Like, his domain expansion confirms it. Higuruma's. So, yeah. I don't blame you for thinking that. That was such a popular theory for so long. Gojo Tio says, I think you're onto something. Thanks. I'm not sure I must have been talking about something from before. I'd rather comment a bit late. Thank you, though. So, Dwani Breed says, hella fine. The second Bleach trailer, yes. Gave me reasons to be happy. Yes, I saw that trailer, man. It looks so good. Like, I know the 1,000-Year Blood Walk is so hated, with its reasons, because it was rushed and not to the author's fault. Like, Taite Kubo, the author of Bleach, legendary guy, he was rushed, and unfortunately the final arc was, you know, kind of bad because of it, like the ending parts of it, but that's not his fault. And I think for the majority of the 1,000-Year Blood Walk, I loved it, personally. The stuff with the Zero, Actually, I almost was about to say spoilers. I'm not going to say a thing, actually. Just in case people have not read the manga, I was about to say some big spoilers, my god. I'm not going to say any Bleach spoilers, but all I'll say is I am very, very, very excited for Bleach. As I hope all of you are. Gojo Tio says, says Nanami Mei versus Hakari. Oof, wait a minute. That's a good matchup. So you're saying 2v1, yeah? Okay. So, let me bring up the tier list. This is something that's actually better to bring up. So can you guys see the tier list? Let me double check. Yeah, it seems to be big enough. I'll make it